Should I start by addressing you as Master Joe?
Oh no, that's not necessary.
But I do note that people meet you and then they address you with a lot of respect, doing this funny bow or something, some other ritual, and addressing you as Master Joe. And we know that that is related to your fighting career
Yeah, it's
and your
martial art.
training,
It's martial arts. Yeah.
martial arts.
Yes.
So, in the martial art environment, you are a master.
Absolutely. Yes, I have created a fighting system which is called Ring Contact Fighting Art, which is now being taught quite worldwide. This year we'll do our Jungle War at Emerald Casino, and then next year we do the World Championships also at Emerald Casino in April, which will 38 countries will participate. Now we specialize in boxing, we specialize in high kick division, and we also specialize in low kick division, which they call K1 in kickboxing, and then of course we do close combat going to the ground as well.
Yeah.
But going to the ground with us works differently. We don't stay on the ground for 5 minutes. 20 seconds, you must get up. Because if you can't get a guy in a tap out or a hold or a strangle in 20 seconds, you must up your standard.
Okay, you now created a lot of images in my mind relating to Drickus and his fights.
Yeah.
But Joe, fighting, you and fighting come way back, the
Oh, yeah.
70s, 80s, roundabout.
Yeah, in the 80s. Yeah, I was the first kickboxing world champion in South Africa, and I've trained 16 world champions in different world organizations, from WACO, from ISKA, from all the world organizations at that stage. And I like to give people exposure. I'm very well connected worldwide concerning the best promoters in the world, and we would like to give people the opportunity. My situation is once I've get myself into a position of world champion and defended the title several times successfully, I retired and then of course invest everything in land and then get involved because nature is very close to me.
Okay, but now that is now the interesting fact because already had this immaculate sporting life, being a world champion, and then you did not cut that ties, those ties with the martial arts, but then you invested in nature.
Absolutely. My dad was a homeopathic doctor, so that tells you that he's very much in nature, all
Yeah.
about nature. But unfortunately, we lost him when I was only 13. He still believes a doctor needs to see a patient when it's sick. It's in bed, you go to the patient. And 3 o'clock in the morning, a truck driver fell asleep and killed my dad on his side of the road.
Oh, so
So
sad to
very
hear.
early, but when people talk about it, I see it a positive and a negative. The negative is I would have loved to know more because my dad was a very, I would think, intelligent and doing whatever nature needs to do. But the good part is very early in my life, I need to make decisions.
Mm,
And
mm.
you grow up very quickly. It's not a question now to wait and you have somebody support there. You've got to grow up quick. And I always like to be involved with positive people all my life. I've seen, once you get involved with negatively situations, you get into a hole and you yourself get into a negative situation. So positive is to me very important. And of course, the blessings we receive as humans by able to walk, talk, see people, help people,
Be alive.
be alive.
Yeah.
And that is so important. So nature played a big role in the fighting game because there's certain attacking methods you use which comes from nature.
That's exactly where I want to now start with you. We know now that you've got a huge fighting career behind you. You get involved with nature with a little bit of background from your late father with his stuff, and then you start. And I would make the statement: then only you start experiencing nature in its full context.
Absolutely.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Now, on that topic, you've got your game farm, but you also do a lot of travels into Africa.
Oh yes, I visit every place I can in Africa. I take photographic safaris all over, people that's interested in it. But the big thing about nature, I think people miss so much because we can learn every day from nature, but we think we are superior to that. I mean, nature has been survived for millions of years. where we don't have time. We have a limited time and we die. Where you actually in depth could see, and that is my situation. I had quite a few professors from various universities visiting my place, and around the campfire one night, I talk about my experiences and what I've seen and how I read the situations. And they said, "Listen, Joe, you got to put this on paper because if you die, this all this knowledge is going to go away." And I left it, I make notes and I see what I see and experience, and I do research on each species and look at genetics because that is a big thing in South Africa and in the world. The genetics of wildlife we need to really take care of, and I'll discuss that with you just shortly. And that's what I specialize in now, is to better genetics because of population growth of humans and also the natural migration
Yeah.
patterns of wildlife. But to come back to the point, yes, nature, man, I'm telling you, just to look at a specific species is one thing. Just to know the species habitat, is it a grazer, a big feeder, a selective feeder, or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What more? What do you see? What do you actually can learn from it? And that is my speciality.
Now, again, I want to connect your fighting career, your fighting ability, your fighting mind,
Mhm,
Joe the fighter, because that is what you are,
mhm.
fighting for survival.
Absolutely.
We know in nature, only the fittest will survive, is the saying,
The strongest,
or the
yeah.
strongest will survive. So it's also in nature fighting all the time.
Discipline.
Different species amongst different species,
Absolutely.
individuals in the same crowd, all the fighting
Yes.
for survival.
Absolutely.
Now, Joe, with your fighting experience and your mental focus while fighting, how does that relate to fighting in nature?
Oh, let me first get to this point. If we take a specific species like, say, a kudu, we call it the grey ghost of Africa. It will stand still behind a tree, and if it doesn't move, you won't even see it because it's so still. It will only move when it's really, if there's danger, it will move. Otherwise, it's not going to move.
It'll move at the last moment.
At the last moment. And if you go back to that into your fighting career, that is the situation. Your coordination between you and your target is very important. Movement, the distancing, to get into the distancing that you want to execute the technique you want to execute, the combination that goes with it. So is in the lions, the combination. It does not have the ability to reach up the same speed as a cheetah because a lion can do 100 yards in 6 seconds, but what does he do in that time frame? And they're only 44 to 50% successful in a hunt. So it tells you there is need to be strategically planning before they can have that specific success.
Which is nature.
Nature, absolute nature. And this is our worldwide problem today, if I put it that way. First of all is discipline. If we look at discipline disappearing all over the world, if there's no discipline, there's chaos, number one. If there's no discipline in a pride of lions or a pack of dogs, it's not going to be successful. There's a certain pattern of discipline and trust that can bring you to that point. If you go to the wild dogs, they absolutely trust each other. The combination of them lying together when they rest, they're touching, they're being involved with each other, and when they hunt, they don't need to look over their shoulder. They know their friend is going to do what he needs to do. The trust that's involved. And that is the situation in the fighting. Once you establish yourself in the fighting game and you start experiencing your capability, you trust your capability. So you're not hesitating. So if I execute any technique, I trust it because I know what is the capability of the technique.
Yeah.
So nature shows that to us. It's all the time there. It shows us where it's what. Once you have trust in what you do, you have confidence. Confidence comes with trust, and that's what it is. So your capability, your trust that goes with it, and then of course the effectiveness of your technique.
And how much does all that account to being the dominant figure, the winner?
All right, this is another absolutely a thing to touch on. If you're the dominant or you're the strongest in that weight group or whatever you are at that stage in life, stay humble because I can tell you in the future there will be somebody that will take you down because as time goes so is the improvement of the fighter itself and the fighters in the world. So when you start getting your time, they say, and you're overexposing, and there's so many things you see how people that misbehave and things after they have reached a certain standard. I think it's really not respect for the game itself, for the fighting game itself, because fighting in various ways actually a gentleman's game. It comes from war times. The gentleman, the agreements, the what needs to do, the ethics and the things that goes with it. And that is what I would like to see coming up in the world. Because kids and parents will definitely take their kids to get trained by a person that's got all these qualities. But you will not expose your kid to unorganized, very verbal, taking different language situations. And
Yeah,
you're not going to do that because
yeah,
I think sport is development. It's a development of the individual, hand and foot coordination, discipline that goes with it, and of course confidence that goes with it. So all those factors we need to take in considerations to be a good human. And this is very important to me, is how do you see these things and how do you train people and how you yourself, how you develop.
mm,
And
mm,
you can
mm.
see the differences. Once you see somebody is having a problem, how can you help on that? The best thing in life is the humble, but coordination, and your abilities. Once you have your ability, you don't need to show. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory.
For that and much more, do get your book, Strength Can Be a Weakness, written by the master Joe Fulyun, and get the lessons in it and convey those lessons to all people that you know. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Sake. Privilege.